It's a real bopper of a theme.
Man, I love that intro.
Good intro. That was a good intro.
Thank you.
Super nice.
Yeah, the action, and how can I say the tempo of it? It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I mean, against my better judgment, I thought it'd probably be a good idea to have some Zaku's getting blown up because it's kind of a trope, but...
Well, I mean, Zaku's are the stormtroopers of Gundam.
Yeah,
basically.
and stormtroopers must always die, just as much as their bad aim.
The only thing is that they do have better aim than stormtroopers because they actually hit the target. It's ineffective. It's ineffective against the Gundam and the gun cannon.
And plus, their armor sucks.
Well, plus the Zaku's also have shell casings that can actually kill. So we have discarded ammunition getting kill counts higher than some stormtroopers.
Yeah, you're right.
Actually, in fact, I think wasn't it in? No, I was thinking of the movie F-91 with the one shell casing that dropped on someone's head.
Yep. I think that's exactly what he was referring to. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's get into this then. Hello, everyone. I am, of course, Ironcaster, and this is the Mobile Suit Roundtable. We're here to sit down and talk a little bit about some big robots and, bring some people together to talk about an episode a week. As I said, I am Ironcaster, and I have brought together a little cabal of pilots and engineers to talk about that big beloved franchise.
Am I the only person that had like a weird hiccup here? Like you and Brightest Day kind of just all of a sudden blipped out for a moment.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Don't worry about it.
Okay. So like 5 seconds of your speech there just all of a sudden disappeared.
Again, happens a lot. Just wait and it'll go away.
Okay.
You give it 5 seconds or hit it and it'll do better. The Fonzie rule. So let's go around the round table. Let's go around the what do they say? Go around the horn.
Let's do our introductions.
let's make like the moon and go around.
Hey, there we go. And then we'll drop it on Australia.
Australia, North America, Dublin. Yeah.
Well, let's be honest. Does anyone really miss Australia?
I mean, it was just Sydney. I mean, the rest of Australia is cool, just not Sydney.
Hey, no Australia, no full Aussie on Saturdays. So yes, I would miss Australia.
That's why it's just Sydney.
All right, they get a pass for now. Will anyone miss if we try to hit South America?
I don't think so, unless tequila and cocaine is missable.
I mean, you guys have been missing South America every single time.
I mean, didn't they make a huge, giant sombrero space station? And let's be honest, there's something called insulting your own culture, but that was hilarious.
Mexico is in North America.
I'm talking about South America, but no.
Yes,
this is why
Mexico
Fender is not
in
aiming
North America.
the colony drop.
Yes.
You're gonna try.
Hello,
that.
Cold Era.
Okay.
That's a new. I don't think I've seen you in the chat.
Yeah, he's a new one, or she. Who knows?
Let's see. I think it's Robert, actually.
I shouldn't assume temperature.
No, we should. Robert always plays around, but who knows anymore?
You temperature.
He's everybody and nothing at the same time.
And speaking of other newcomers, there's Jace down there in the chat. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, Jace.
Well, you know what? Let's introduce everyone else.
Start with the guest.
Yes. Yes, we have a special guest with us today. What was it? Chris, the unpaid intern.
Hello.
Yeah. I decided the gun pockets are in the mail. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Jace to watch Gundam. He's just being resistant. He's resisting.
I'll just try better convincing. I mean, I've been ignoring Gundam for years, but these two managed to get me to do it.
Yep. Yeah, we just pressured him enough, and we got it.
My first experience was with the Gundam Wing back in the 90s when it was on Toonami.
Oh, yep. I think that's
love at first sight.
You know, it's kind of funny.
This is a quite interesting franchise. I mean, the old giant robot concept it's always been a pretty love of mine, but dependent of the kind of robot.
Well, I mean, Gundam actually changed the giant robot franchise back in '79 when it came out. So, I mean, everyone thought it was goofy and faced giant monsters prior to that, but when Gundam came out, it took an entirely different turn, especially when it adopted.
Wait, does Gundam have giant monsters?
No.
Not really.
What he's saying is it brought us from the super robot era where they would face giant monsters.
It changed the stereotype that giant robots only fight monsters.
Yes, exactly. I'm trying to think. In fact, actually, Tomino, he drew upon Starship Trooper as part of his inspiration for Gundam.
Yes.
I was actually unaware of that.
Yeah, because because in the original novel, I do believe Starship Trooper had mechs in them to help battle the big
they had the power armor, I remember.
So they had power armor, and Tomino's original intention for Gundam was for the suits to be actual suits that were man-sized. And it was studio interference, and again, this transition from the super robot era that led them to become this giant robot. So we got the super robot era, and then this transitioned us into what is known as the real robot era, with a higher focus on scientific accuracy and less fantastical elements. But they were intended to be power armor.
And Tomino went into some did a really great job of using actual science to create the universe of Gundam. I mean, like for example, the O'Neill cylinders that would be the sides, the various Banshees.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I'd pull up real quick one such example of how the power armor should look, and there's very much
I have in one of my books that I have. There's a picture of the original Gundam inspiration. One of the books the cover I sent you last night, in one of them has the original inspiration for the Gundams.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I just need to, or one of the original depictions. I just need to hunt it down now. It still breaks my heart that there's only 9 volumes of this version. They didn't finish the translations.
Right, that was what, the late 90s manga adaptation?
Yep. It's a great adaptation. It's just sadly they never finished doing it in the English version.
Yeah, there was a little bit of mic issues there for a moment, but it seems like it sort of sorted itself out.
It normally does. Jay says that he's gonna give me his old mic, because mine kind of cuts in and out. So forgiveness.
It's okay. We've all been there.
Yeah.
All right. So do we want to get into this episode?
Yeah. So did everyone do their homework?
Yes.
I assume so. So we are, of course, covering episode 9, Fly, Gundam. Do you care to take over, Bryce?
Of course. So again, as Ironcaster just said, this is episode 9, Fly, Gundam. For those of you unfamiliar with the format of this show, I will read a synopsis of the episode scene by scene, and we will pause every so often to discuss amongst ourselves and take questions and comments from the chat. Now we begin. This episode opens on White Base, flying over a ruined city. On board, Frau Bo makes the meal rounds. She enters Amuro's quarters, and the two proceed to talk about his mental state, lack of sleep, the trauma of repeated battles, and the fact that the Federation is simply using White Base as a distraction for the Zeon forces, while they develop more advanced weapons.
So one of the lines here, as Frau Bo's kind of chewing him out. Most of the adults aren't with us anymore because of this war. We just have to accept the fact that kids like us have to do our part. When it comes right down to it, the Federation and Zeon are all the same. Which, Frau Bo largely has the lay of the land here. That, like it or not, this is the life they have, and it's just the reason for the war for them don't matter. But here they are in it. Now they have to effectively be dragged into it. They have to fight, and they have to just survive.
Yeah, war does not discriminate. It goes after everyone.
Indeed. Continuing on. On the bridge, White Base receives a transmission from the Federation. It states that White Base is to break through enemy lines as quickly as possible and make for the open sea. Current circumstances make it impossible for them to return communication, however. In the galley, Frau stumbles in on a conversation between Ryu and the cook, who we learn is under orders to provide conversation between Kai and the cook, who we learn is under orders to provide Amuro and Ryu larger rations based on their increased combat rotation. We see the orphans sneak off with tomatoes and then give one to Amuro.
Okay, I really gotta ask, does anyone really have a constant wish to punch Guy in the face every time you see him in the screen?
Well, I mean, when he's whiny and complaining, you really can't avoid it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And hey, I mean, on the plus side, we got to have the Kai traumatized hour last week, as he develops his PTSD in the episode.
Yeah, Kai is very much an unlikable character, and it's by design.
He's a coward, and he's a coward throughout the whole show. Even he admits it, especially during the Battle of Solomon. He says, "I'm happy I'm a coward."
Yep. He's got a higher self-preservation instinct than most.
Yes.
Okay. Lieutenant Reed suggests that they abandon White Base, but Bright doesn't consider that an option, believing that would take away any value in what they've done up until now. Bright contacts Amuro, telling him to go on patrol, but Amuro refuses, saying he's sick of the battles. Ryu thinks they're relying on Amuro too much, and decides to go off on patrol with Hayato. They fly out in 2 core fighters and begin patrolling the area. Nearby, Garma and Char are flying in the Gaw carrier, and Garma prepares to fly out himself. Char thinks it's a bad plan, but Garma is insistent that he prove himself to his sister. He thinks that Char couldn't understand because he doesn't have any family ties. They receive a warning that 2 fighters are nearby, which makes Garma even more determined to go out, declaring that he'll take them both down.
So one of the things I do like is the color choices of Garma and his uniform. That I think that purple and yellow is a good standout. Mm-hmm. I thought it was worth at least acknowledging that.
Yeah.
What do you think about? So we have Garma's also fighter in the show. There's also that fighter that they use in the Journey to Jaburo game. But what do you think about the mobile suit that they give him in Journey to Jaburo?
Did they give him? What did they give him? The Gyan?
No, they gave him a Zaku.
It's like a high mobility type.
No, it was a normal Zaku J type. It kind of looked it. So it had. I'm trying to look for a picture of it. The only thing I can find is basically a model kit for it. Kind of look. It kind of had the body. It kind of like had the chest and the groin area of the normal Zaku with the green, but then the arms and legs and head were red. So this is the closest I can find.
Let me pull this back up. Kind of an orangish.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a commander type with probably some other small modifications.
But yeah, I mean, if
Okay.
you play Journey to Jaburo again after defeating it, you get this alternative model.
Mhm.
Instead of him in his fighter, he drops down in his Zaku. Has Vulcan cannons in the head too.
Yeah, so there's some extra armament there, and then I can tell by that fin that's a commander type Zaku. It's the same. It's a similar fin to what you see on Chars in certain model kits.
FS.
That's what the S would be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got too many buttons.
It's okay.
A couple of things I did like seeing is we kind of this interesting shot here with the way the dops are, how they get into the dop.
Mm-hmm. A big telescoping elevator.
Mm-hmm.
It's also nice that we get to see that he also gets his own custom equipment in this dop, where it's got these rocket pods that don't exist on the other fighters.
All right.
So we have this consistent thing where the commanders of each unit get their own personalized equipment.
Those
Pretty much special treatment.
The missile pods, those are also on the normal, or is that?
I don't think so. I think in the next
Yeah.
shot you see that the dops have guns, but these two like shoulder mounted ones I think were unique to this one.
I remember having the toy and those missile pods / guns were on them too.
I'm just referring to what I saw in the episode.
No, I'm just okay. I'm just saying it's like with the toy with the action figures, the dops came with the shoulder mounted missile pods / guns. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, I'm only commenting on what I saw in the episode.
Yep. I think it's also worth pointing out and kind of backing up to it real quick. Just Amuro's attitude here. He's the lack of sleep and the pressure of the situation he's in is causing him to start snapping out at everyone else and trying to hold himself off from everything else. That he's basically reaching a breaking point here.
Yeah, and he's what, 17? How old is he in this? I forget.
15, 16?
15, 16, yeah.
Okay. With that, can I continue?
Let me get us back up. Yep.
Okay. Hayato and Ryu find the Ga, but they don't have enough firepower to fight it. Char manages to convince Garma to come back inside and instead follow the core fighters to White Base and attack. He sees the patrol as a sign that White Base is somehow at a disadvantage. As the two core fighters return, the gun tank and gun cannon are readied, and Bright tells Amuro to prepare for battle, but he refuses. Bright is about to snap, but Sayla holds him back. Amuro refuses to go unless Bright promises he can get some sleep afterwards, but this only angers Bright more.
What about me? I'm tired of being scared. Is Amuro's quote here.
All right, his little mew.
His little woe is me.
Mm-hmm.
As he's dealing with a lot of self-pity at this point, it seems.
I mean, he does have some point. He's been fighting nonstop since leaving Side 7, and he's been basically the spearhead for their White Base this entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't forget the fact that he's still a kid. So, yeah, he doesn't have the mentality for all of this.
Yep, he's not emotionally ready and prepared for any of this, but he doesn't have a choice.
No.
And it's actually I think in this scene, he and Bright have a surprisingly similar mindset, in that they're both under this their own relative type of stress, but they've been consistently, ground into the grindstone this entire time, and they're just butting heads because neither one of them has patience left, and they're just taking it out on each other. Meanwhile, there's still this job that has to be done.
Well, also, Bright has what's his face screaming over his shoulder this entire.
Yes, yeah. Reed is a relatively new monkey wrench.
Yep. Whereas now even before that, Bright was able to, even if he's doubting himself, be able to make the decisions. But now Reed is basically pushing back against his decisions and is coming up with ideas that Bright doesn't necessarily agree with. But chain of command.
Well, you have
and Reed also counteracts himself too.
You also have a Salamis captain trying to dictate mobile suit pilots. Someone who does not have combat experience with mobile suits, with directing a full battle, an assault carrier, trying to use Salamis tactics. It's no wonder why the Federation was losing the first week of the war.
Yep. Yeah, it's the Navy trying to dictate the tactics of the Army.
Basically, yeah.
Well, technically, the White Base is still part of the Space Forces, so I mean, they're both underneath the same branch. It's just a new technology.
The resident supervillain, of course, is chiming in. Chaos within White Base. Beautiful.
Can I continue?
Yeah, let's get back to it.
All right. As the gun tank and gun cannon are released, Bright bursts into Amuro's room, demanding to know what he's doing. Bright grabs Amuro, pulling him off the bed, and eventually punching him in the face. Amuro asks how could he hit him, and Bright calls him a spoiled brat, proclaiming they've been catering to his every need up until now.
How dare you hit me?
What's wrong with hitting you? You're a selfish brat. We've been catering your tantrums, and it's going to stop now.
Ryu, Hayato, and Kai try to hold back the Dops.
Yeah, sometimes a
but
kid
are
just
running
needs
low
to be
on
hit.
ammo.
Oh, wait. I have a thing for this now. We hit the halfway point.
Nice.
Thank you.
The internet had changed that for later on when they changed the halfway animation.
Oh, that's right. They do that.
Yeah, they like to do that in mid-seasons, just make like drastic changes to things. It's like when I was watching Iron-Blooded Orphans and they just changed the intro song. I'm like, this is so inferior. It's so bad.
Raise Your Flag is so good.
That is such a good song.
Oh, look, even the villain likes it.
It's humorous. It's definitely a hallmark of this original series.
Okay,
where was I?
Tantrums.
Amuro just got his bitch slapped.
Yep. Ryu, Hayato, and Kai try to hold back the Dops, but are running low on ammo. Garma tells Char that he thinks the reason White Base is being so cautious is because Gundam, which he doesn't see out, is somehow unable to be launched. He flies in, preparing to finally take down White Base once and for all.
And Amuro gets hit again.
Yeah, this is beautiful. You know, it's one of those iconic memes of this franchise, just Bright slapping someone, which we've now seen at least two, 3 times now.
Everyone slaps
Hey,
Amuro.
would it be funny if someone grabbed all of the clips of the entire franchise where someone gets slapped and puts with that song? What's the name of that? Dun 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 dun. Just doing that song and everybody gets slapped.
Yeah. I'm sure it's either been done or it will be done very soon.
See, I'm thinking Mr. Blue Sky.
Yeah.
You know, right when you get that like.
You can do it to
That's
any
how I do
song,
it.
really. If you do it in the right beat, it could be anything.
It's a
Yeah, the right
beautiful
beat
new
works.
day. Hey. It goes in running down the avenue. It's just them running down the hallway.
Yeah, it worked.
That would be a fun
Yep.
edit.
Or just
Right,
have the
just-
Gundam flying off the sky or something.
Oh, there you go.
All right, I'm going to read this next one, and then I got to go take a quick break. All
right.
Yeah. Bright slaps Amuro, who then angrily declares that he's never going to pilot Gundam again. Bright leaves to the bridge, saying he's too disgusted to even look at him, and that he'd expected him to surpass Char's abilities up to now. Prow asks Amuro for the manual to Gundam, and volunteers to operate the mobile suit herself. Based on Bright and Frau's words, Amuro has a change of heart and runs off to the hangar to get ready.
Aww.
Yep. Yeah, so I think this is another one of those definitive moments for Amuro to really come into his own, to come to that manhunt. I mean, he even says here something to the effect of, he has to man up after he's had the sense slapped into him.
A couple times.
Sometimes a person just needs a good ass kicking just to get their head out of their ass.
Stops being a boy, becomes a man.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, if your kids are a pain in the ass, just hit them sometimes. That's how my friends did.
I got
I'm a
the
perfectly good, stable member of society.
plastic spoon. I got the belt.
You'll get the wooden spoon.
God, that is a nightmare of a lot of kids. I mean, used to
Well,
be.
Yes. My mother, if I was misbehaving, what she would do is if I was sitting next to her in the car, she would reach over and pinch and twist my inner thigh.
Mine would use a chancla. You know what that is?
No, what is it?
Pretty much a flip flop. But
Oh,
just to
yeah,
hit the kid.
Nice.
I mean, you ever wonder why Japanese kids are so behaved? Because their flip flops are made of wood.
Yeah, that'll.
I just think the look of an angry Japanese parent is enough to scare a child into obeying. I don't think they need the flip flop.
Yeah, I guess kind of instilled into them throughout childhood. Study.
Yes.
Hey, I am back.
Hey,
Sorry
welcome
about
back. Oh, you missed us talking about child abuse.
Yeah, I was about to mention I feel bad for Hathaway.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to so I just started getting those Netflix movies, and I have to start watching them. Just so I can watch Hathaway's Hathaway's Flash with some kind of context.
I think it's Hathaway's Flash as the manga, and it's just Hathaway as just the
decibel.
movie.
Okay.
Agent Decibel, of course, says
Sheesh.
his used to use an extension cord like a whip. I swear I could hear the Indiana Jones theme.
Ouch.
It's terrible.
Bravo.
All right.
That was well done. I mean, sorry for the whole laughing at your trauma, but hey.
We all been there.
Yes.
Oh, what the hell? We've all had that. Every actual kid from our periods and parts of the world actually has had that trauma. We've all been hidden. Woohoo.
Yep.
It's universal. Speaking of universal, back to Universal Century.
All right.
That's what we call them in the professional game a segue.
All right. Char is impressed by Garma's abilities as he watches the battle. The two pilots of the GAW wonder if this is a good idea, but Char says Garma said he'd call for help if it was necessary. As he says this, he unplugs a key cable for the GAW's communications, so that any communication from Garma cannot be heard. Gundam is launched, and Amuro uses its rocket nozzles to make a large jump up to the Dops, firing on them. Amuro takes out all of the Dops except for Garma, who loses his right wing. He tries to tell the Gaw his plan to finally destroy Gundam by luring it into the Gaw's firing range. But due to the break in communication, nothing happens. Garma heads downwards, and Amuro follows, but is stopped when a Medea supply plane suddenly appears before him. The captain tells him about the Gaw behind the clouds, and warns him to stay away.
So you guys get the feeling that like there's a little bit of tension between Char and Garma here.
I wonder why.
No, I don't get that at all.
Yeah, maybe that's what he gets for, making that family jab. That's what it probably was.
Wasn't there that little line in there that says, "Should I help him or should I not and let him die?"
Something like that, yeah. I mean, this is we've got inklings that he has these.
I mean, just look at that
machinations.
scene. That is pretty cool.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine what it would look like if they kind of cleaned it up into like more cleaned it up for like modern standards.
Oh, there would be so many great moments that could be done that way. But I'd be hesitant to.
That's actually a good thing to do. I mean, most companies don't even need to hire no animators. Just make it look better. Use the same exact scene, just make it look more clean.
They do that They did that for.
We sort of lost you there for a moment when you said they do.
Who, me or him?
You, Chris.
I said they did that for the video games. They did.
Oh, right. I've got those.
Clean up for the video games.
We got a couple of other great shots. Amuro just straight up kicks a dude right in the head.
Kicks a Dop right in the sky.
Yeah, okay. I see what you were referring to there with those what look like the rocket pods. I don't know if that's the same thing, but
actually I actually have pulled up a web page.
There's another shot.
Yeah.
One that was about to explode.
Yeah. I don't know if they look like the same thing, but yeah, there's definitely something in that area. Okay.
So I kind of
Interesting. Okay. I stand corrected.
I mean, it's just the animation. Like I said, it would be amazing if they could clean and like re-release these and clean up the animation a little bit.
Yeah, but don't let the Western companies do the dubbing, though. They'd find a way to ruin
please
it.
no, please no.
No, I think it's pretty universally agreed that basically the Western.
And also further on this day, when the wonderful Miss Matilda comes around, Amuro develops his first crush.
Oh yes, a red-headed lady. To be honest, redheads are pretty.
If American
redheads are just the best.
Go ahead, sorry.
So here's a cell that I actually like the detail of, in that when we get these close-ups of characters, we get better quality animation, but we actually have the distance fade on Char in the background, and everything's focused on Garma, who's very crisp, or comparatively crisp.
Yeah, it is a good attention to detail to get that sense of distance and focus.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of also gives a nice little hint at Char's distance, is him standing in the background just planning.
Agreed. Yes.
Yeah, I really think Char will assassinate this guy.
I mean, he just basically tried to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to give you the context, Chris, we're basically talking about the show and going through it with basically as we go. So we're basically up to this point in the series. So we're trying to avoid talking about a lot of the later stuff in the show.
Yeah, I get that. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you can do it. Just do it in a non-spoilery manner.
Yes. Yeah. Fenrir is new to this show, so it's just kind of fun to stick to what we've seen so far, which is about 9 episodes.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. At that part in the beginning where the three of you were talking about the extended parts of all this, I was pretty much hitting a huge blank, just going on with my face up pros and just waiting to see a moment where I could understand shit. Yeah, really
Yeah,
had.
it's all right.
I blanked out there for a second.
Maybe for April Fools, we'll just do some like Gundam Wing or like Robotech, or that might be fun.
Yeah, I'll figure it out when we get there.
Or something different.
That's a whole like 6 months away.
We did talk about doing that split stream between my channel and your channel on 8th MS Team.
Yes.
So we got to figure out the logistics of that.
That's a fun version. Though you gotta have to all admit that 0083 has the best intro song
Of the Universal Century stuff,
of any
probably
of the Gundam
so.
animes, of any of the Gundam animes, with the what is it? I guess whenever you look at the trailer of 0083, it once you get that song in your head, it doesn't get out.
I would also, again, we mentioned Raise Your Flag for Iron Blooded Orphans as being a really solid one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a fan of what they use for the English version of Zeta, with that slow, like, kind of space fantasy or space opera with the drum, the do 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 do. That, I think that one is another really good one
And then we get Double Zeta with Animation Eye.
Oh God, yes. It just gets stuck in your head.
No, it doesn't. All right, let me just finish off these last 2 paragraphs.
Yep.
Back at the GAW, Garma finds the plug, which Char has now fixed, thinking dirt on it was the reason for it not working. Garma accuses Char of leaving him to die, but Char says he didn't want to damage Garma's pride and knew his piloting skills would serve him well. Garma eats it all up. The Medea's captain, Lieutenant Matilda Ajan, supplies White Base with what it needs, and also takes the injured evacuees and the Salamis crew, including Lieutenant Reed. She tells them that due to the Federation's tough times, White Base will not be supplied with a new crew, and will function as a fully recognized battleship. She exits the bridge, with Amuro suddenly smitten with her. And that is the close of the episode.
Yeah, we all know what he was looking at the second she left the bridge.
Now, if this was made in the United States, if this was a live action version made in the United States, they would change her from a redhead to another color.
Set.
Yes.
The black
unfortunately.
chick.
The ginger
A
side.
very masculine black chick.
However, on that note,
it is
I was
true.
trying to avoid
Very
from saying
true.
that, but okay, yeah.
No, trust me. This black chick would be so manly, so big, she would make the three of us look like a lady in comparison. Hell, she would probably not even have hair. She'd be completely shaved at the head.
So you're saying Abby from The Last of Us Part 2?
Pretty much. Just this one was going to be a lesbian.
Abby Manstrong?
Yeah.
So if they didn't do that and they actually cast her correctly, who would be your choice? Because mine would be Karen Gillan.
Ooh.
Oh, I agree with that one.
That's a pretty good choice. Of course, I'm trying to. There've been so few redheads in Hollywood these days that I'm not really.
That's the thing.
Sure
There are redhead actors. There's a lot of redheaded people out there in Hollywood who actually want a freaking job and would be good for the roles.
I mean, heck, they could just find someone they can dye their head red.
Right.
Hey, don't tell that to Geeky Sparkle. She'll be pissed.
Yeah. So, Geeky, if you see this, I'm sorry. Don't kill me, please.
Same thing with Rowan Ginger Raven. She goes on the warpath about this.
But I mean, at least it's a person playing as a redhead instead of them just saying we don't want a redhead, we want to insert something else.
Yes,
that's all I'm just saying. Is that
it's
it's just at least a redhead of sorts, even if it's a fake redhead.
Yep. Also, what I thought was a really cool shot here of the elevators that was mentioned to Brightest before this. It looks like something off the Death Star. Like this would have been Vader's personal healing chamber. Yes.
Meditation sphere.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. That scene where you get the clamshell opening up.
It does look like it, yeah.
And also the narrator kind of steps in here. A slight fragrance lingers in the air. For Amuro, this is the first time he's noticed the charms of a woman.
Truly, the redhead is the kryptonite of most men.
Accurate.
Screw Hollywood for wanting to commit their genocide.
The ginger side.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I'm
that's
not
an
even going to
interesting-
see the G.I. Joe movie because their Scarlet just doesn't look like the real Scarlet. Plus, they don't have Duke, nor Roadblock, nor Shipwreck, nor Flint, nor Lady J, so why the hell would I give a shit?
Yeah. Well, I mean, luckily we have good content here. We have some good Gundam to talk about, which there's plenty coming.
A
Yeah,
lot more fun action.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was
yeah. Hey,
Fly
question. Any of
Gundam.
you have any extra action figures of Cobra Commander with the hood?
No, I don't
Sadly
have
not.
a hooded one.
Yeah, I've been looking
Which-
for those. It's impossible to find them anymore. Specifically now that Hasbro is no longer going to do them.
Well, I mean, there is the 3D makers option because you have people that are making accessories for figures. So there'll no doubt be people making Cobra Commander heads with the hood.
I hope you're right.
I would
mean,
have to go to a local flea market. Be my best bet.
well, I mean, I've been able to get some third party like add-on bits for Transformers in the past, so it is totally viable. In fact, I saw those last night on like social media somewhere that someone's putting that together.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
If
find one of those.
if the major companies
Gotta
don't
collect
want
them
to,
before they get completely destroyed.
if they do not want to provide a product, the third party, the little guys will step forward to fill that niche.
Independent
Mhm.
creators. Oh, that's a little step forward.
Oh yeah, I have a little thing.
Yeah, it's pretty great to see that the companies are shit and independent creators are way better.
So if we could go back to that very last
We
line
live
of
in
the
the era-
narrator.
The
About
independents.
Amuro.
Right. So he says this is the first time he's noticed the charms of a woman. But there are other women aboard White Base, and it's funny that he says that because Mirai is, I believe, a little bit older. But she spends most of her time on the bridge. So even though they're on the same ship, he probably wouldn't have noticed. Whereas Frau and Sayla are, either they don't spend time with him, and Frau is younger. So it's accurate, but also is worth noting that there are these other women on board the ship.
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
their weight down. Thank you. But yeah, no, you're right on that. It's you have Frau Bo and Sayla as kind of Frau is more of the childhood friend who he doesn't even see that way, and Sayla's just another
She's
woman,
just there.
another girl
Yeah.
who was exactly.
and Mirai, I'm looking it up. Mirai is 2 years older than Amuro.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's another woman, but she acts more like a motherly, much like.
Yeah, but that's not really much of a turn off.
I was gonna say much like Frau. She acts very much like a motherly figure instead. She
Yeah.
doesn't.
Or it could just be that Matilda is, she's that much older that it's more noticeable. And the fact that she's this new entity in his life as well.
And it's like,
Plus, redhead.
yes,
Yeah.
a redhead, and this is a woman proper.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yeah, so this has been This has been the episode Fly Gundam. What did you guys think so far for it? I mean, I thought it was. I did like. Well, actually, I was kind of a little annoyed seeing the Amuro starting his shit again, but he gets smacked around, so that sort of pays off.
Yeah, the amount of slapping that's going on is increasing at an almost exponential rate.
Yeah, he gets his shit kicked in for him.
Yeah.
What episode is it? I don't know. How many times does Amuro get slapped today?
Yeah.
Take a
Amuro and
shot.
Kai, right?
take a shot every time the Amuro gets slapped.
Hey, there we go.
Likely story.
Need to create a shot game for Mobile Suit Gundam. Every time Amuro gets slapped, take a shot. Every time Amuro gets distracted by a pretty woman, take a shot. Every time
Every time he whines, every time somebody whines, take a shot.
every
'Cause there's
time every time that Kai is an asshole, take a shot.
How many chances are that someone's gonna end up drunk?
No, forget
If
about
the
being,
orphans are annoying, you take a drink.
forget
Yeah.
about being drunk. Going to the hospital to have your stomach pumped out because you have too much alcohol in your system.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so this is
What are
why
the
drinking
chances?
games are bad, children.
Yes, but
Unless-
we're
See, this is
stupid,
what-
so we're doing them.
No. This is part. We're being hydrated. This is water we're drinking. Glug, glug.
Now, children, don't play this game at home unless it's with chocolate milk.
Ugh, you'd probably wind up with an equal
Or
chance
with
of winding up
milkshakes.
in the winding up with your stomach pumped with that much milk in your system.
True. But yeah, this episode's not too bad. In fact, actually, back when Mobile Suit Gundam first aired on Toonami, this was sadly the last episode I saw right before they. I think I used to every other week I would go to my father's house, and so unfortunately I would miss every other episode, and this one was the last one before the next episode, so I never got to see the next episode for years until I could find it online. The only time I ever got to see the episode was to see any hints of the episode was in games.
Okay, yeah.
As Asian Decibel reminds us, never settle for a woman that can't kill you.
Yeah, Miss Matilda would definitely be able to kill you.
Hey, speaking of games, isn't there a game that just got released or is coming out?
Well, there was.
Yeah, something about Super Robot Brawl or something.
Oh, there were a couple, but let's pull that up. In fact, I just so happen to have this up and ready. In fact, just recently announced Gundam Evolution. I tried to make a video about this week, but apparently my video decided to do the weird panoramic view.
It took me a minute.
Panoramic VR view.
I have no idea why it decided to do this.
It was so weird to watch.
It took me a minute to realize it wasn't intentional. And I'm like, did you mean to do this?
Well, I watched that video of the 3D cockpit of a Gundam, and I was like, I could do that, and I'll just talk about news.
Yeah.
See, that's what we call a liar.
Remember, children, lying is bad.
Unless you can get away with it.
So anyway, this thing, what is it? This is a reskin of what's the other FPS?
A lot of people are comparing this to Overwatch.
Overwatch, yeah. I thought it was built on the same engine. I just glanced over this article first. I didn't have a chance to read it, but I thought it was like they
Oh god, I hope Blizzard isn't
I thought they
working on
took
this.
the engine and just mapped the new skins onto it, basically, which was fine. But it's like now I have to play Overwatch, basically. But it looked cool.
If I'm not giving money directly to Blizzard and I can pilot giant robots, I'll be happy with this.
I really wish they would create another Gundam campaign game. I'm really missing those.
Oh no.
Yeah, I have all the ROMs from the early PlayStation era. I should probably go play again. And I have a couple of the old Super Robot Wars games, which one of them is in Japanese, so I can't read it. But
yeah, I have Journey to Jupiter, which I mentioned earlier, along with Encounter in Space. So I get to play the whole 1 year war with the White Basin teams, and then also Earth Federation versus Xeon.
yeah.
A very fun one.
Yes, it is.
So
Yeah,
I
it's
suppose
really
we should
good games.
read a little bit of this article here. Wow, that PS2 era was so good for Gundam games.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Did you want me to read this, or are you gonna go to?
I can read it. I'm just pulling some stuff out of the chat from Agent Decibel. Give her knives and piss her off to see if she's worthy.
Okay.
I believe he would do that.
I mean,
Of course, the Wait Down's trying to give some other advice.
I mean, remember what happened in 8th MS Team? What the wonderful romance that was in there?
Yeah. Well, that's, oh
Tom, you should
god,
see
I
my
can't wait to
response
talk about that.
Shiro Amada and oh god,
Ayame? Or something like
Shiro
that, yeah.
Amada and Eilina Sahalin.
Yeah.
Which we'll be sure to cover that in about 20 weeks or so.
Whenever you want to do it.
At a point. We could probably do that much sooner here, I think. So we can talk about this afterwards. But real quick, let's go over this. Today, Bandai Namco had an interesting announcement to make for fans of popular Mobile Suit Gundam franchise, Gundam Evolution. The game is a free-to-play first-person shooter for PC, which will require Windows 10, and it'll let you choose a mecha from the franchise and wreak havoc on a 6v6 battle. The mecha announced so far is the RX-78
You know what would be fun?
Gundam.
And I'm just saying out here, it would be fun if they made these games to be like, hey, you see those games where you make your own choices and go to your own paths, adventuring to an open world game, but following the story and plot of the whole series as you as the main character. It'd be fun if they did something like that.
Would take way too much money that these companies are willing to spend. Sadly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're definitely on the cusp of a couple resurgences in some games. Like I do think, and I am sort of seeing with things like this, the resurgence of mecha, with mechs and giant robots sort of coming back because you have this. There's the one on There's one on Steam I've been playing quite a bit of called Mass Builder.
Mm-hmm.
Super Robot Wars is now starting to finally get translated and brought to the West.
And those are interesting. Just the some of the ones I have, they're a super deformed nature, so you get the exposure to that aspect of this, which is not the most popular, but definitely has a following, and it's like a proper RPG.
You did have that temporary resurgence of Voltron.
That's right.
With
I forgot
Legendary
about
Defender, yeah.
Plus, recently you could even say recently we had the Pacific Rim movies.
Yeah. There's also an anime TV show on Netflix.
Yes, yeah, the black.
See, so far we have the Gundam, the RX-80 PR Pale Rider, the Zaku 2, the ASW G08 Gundam Barbados, meaning that there'll be Barbados. Meaning that we'll be getting crossovers from other franchises so that other ones such as the Gundam Wing and
Multiple
the G
universes.
Gundam. Yep, the Gundam Seed, which also really recently got announced a new anime series, I believe.
Gundam Seed?
Yeah,
Yes.
there's
No. It's a manga.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
manga.
Okay.
I was like,
It was-
wait a minute. What?
I couldn't remember if it was a
Gundam
manga or
Seed?
an anime. So thank you for correcting me on that. Yes, there's a new manga.
I had to double check that article a couple times. It specifies it's a manga series, but it's like it says it once, so you blink and you miss it. But yeah, so from this list, most of this is Universal Century stuff, except for Barbatos, the Turn A, and I don't know what the Ashamar is, but I think the rest of that is Universal Century stuff. I think maybe
that might be a Zeta suit.
Yeah,
Yep.
it is.
Double Zeta. Yeah, I saw Double Zeta. So okay.
The transformable mobile suit after they made the Zeta.
It dawned on me that I probably shouldn't just blindly Google a word that has the word ass in it.
Yeah, that's okay. So I never finished Double Zeta, which is why I wouldn't have recognized that one. I couldn't get through it.
Double
It was
Zeta,
another silly transforming suit.
I mean, Double Zeta is hard to get. The first half is hard to get through because of it's being so slow, and also the comedy kind of wears it down. But the second half, it does get a bit more serious, and you see more of the what's going on in the larger Earth sphere.
Yeah, and plus you get a little more of Lady Haman. She really shows up in that series.
I mean, she decks herself out in her "I'm the ruler of Xeon" outfit.
Mm-hmm. Which another powerful redhead.
Is she red?
Yeah, it's not as like super deep red, but
Pinkish.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like, what was it, Astro or the one from the Autobot from Transformers that turns into a UFO. Cosmos.
That's your, yeah.
Sorry, there's like a bajillion Transformers, but yeah, no, this has got a pretty good mix, like we were saying, of suits from different franchises, and I like the fact that they're putting in the gun tank.
The gun tank doesn't get much love, especially in
It's
the
one of my favorites.
especially in the movie, especially when they redesign it in the movie and they basically just drop it after they go back to space.
Which is a shame because it is its own fairly unique design. I mean, the gun cannon's good, but it just sort of blends into the background when you hold up the Gundam, and at least the gun tank stands out with the tank treads of the big, massive shoulder cannons.
I mean, to be honest, it is having a tank in space doesn't seem reasonable. So I mean, you would understand having another gun cannon filling that position when you're going back to space.
So what surprises me is the fact that they have the Sazabi in here.
Oh,
Given
yeah.
that that's a massive suit compared to everything else on that list, just size wise. So I don't know how that works. Can we play the trailer? We're gonna get claimed for that. I don't think we would.
Probably get claimed for it, but I can always cut it out if it does.
Yeah. Don't have to risk
Yeah,
it.
we'll go for it. We'll do some commentary over it.
Yeah.
How annoying is Bandai when it comes to stuff?
As long as we don't have the audio, we stand a good chance. But just pause it every few seconds, and you should be fine.
Yeah. Also, I gotta say it's a pretty good logo, I think, so far.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Like it's one I wouldn't mind see on like a little pin. Which,
oh, there's Gundam.
Yeah. So
some super stylized, intros to show off the different suits like this.
Yeah.
Right,
okay, gentlemen. I'm gonna have to leave now that we've done the episode.
Okay.
And communicated. So I wish all of you a great night. To our guests there,
Chris,
it was a pleasure meeting you. Hope to see you in the future.
Too. Same.
Okay, then. To the chat, I send my pieces, and peace to all of you. Down with Xeon.
God bless us.
Have a good night.
Oh, that hurt. Why, Fenrir? Why have you betrayed
Because
me?
I know Decibel's gonna scream at me, and that is always fun. Bye.
So I know at some point they have gameplay footage. I know this isn't gameplay footage, but okay, here we go.
Oh, I just saw the Gundam camera.
Yeah. Interesting. Can you slow down the playback speed?
Yeah, I should be able to. Let me see if I can. We'll just slow it down as much as I can.
Okay.
Yeah, he's swinging around the Gundam hammer there.
Yeah, but some range.
There's the gun tank. Wow. This is a good shot of like everything in one.
Oh, there's this Zabi.
Yep, and the Barbatos is off to the left there. Yeah. Huh. Okay.
And he's on a capture point. Yeah. Wow. This really does look. It really is Overwatch when you break it down like this.
Like I said, I as much as like PvP games are fun and all, I want to have a good old fashioned Gundam campaign to play.
Yeah, I agree, and I don't know why they couldn't build that in this engine, but it looks good. I'm going to give it that at the very least.
Well, that's presumably because this is going to be very much that sort of this is going to be a free to play game, meaning they'll probably drop in additional suits as a purchase, as well as skins for them.
Mm-hmm.
Check out the gun tank's missile or Vulcan cannons on its arms.
Yeah, it's got the heating barrels effect. Yeah, I noticed that.
It's a good touch. Gun tank pulls back.
Oh, there it is.
Dropping down. Yeah, it's. I always mix this one up with the Bound Dock, which is another very similar transforming suit, much like this. So it's basically two suits that are almost the exact same.
Nice.
Bravo. You know how the game is played. They just milk you, and oh yeah, you just hand over. Oh yeah, it's just $5 here, $10 there.
Yeah, it depends what they ask for it.
Yeah, depends what. Yeah, you're right, and what they're asking, what sort of how they price it, because I'd be willing to pay like full price if I just have a basically the equivalent of a full game.
I mean, isn't the point of DLCs is to add on, not open up what's already there?
Yeah, no, you are right. Well, what I'm saying is, if the gameplay is solid, if it's good, then I could see paying the price of a game for something like this. If they put all that together with the skins to unlock, etc., put that into a full game, a full retail priced game, like we'll say $40.
See, I'm okay with paying for mechanical things and actual content. I am not okay with paying for cosmetics. Personally.
Cosmetics?
Like different skins, different color patterns, things like that. But I personally would not pay money for that. If I'm going to pay money for a game that's free to play, I want it to add something to the game. I don't want it to give an advantage to a player either, but I want like a new model or a new level or something like that.
I mean,
if they're going to nickel and dime you for it.
I mean, you kind of just have to avoid the pay to win aspect.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I think I found everyone's favorite new mobile suit. Unfortunately, we won't be seeing that in Mobile Suit Gundam, but
well, Jace, as soon as you and I can start watching the TV show and everything, we'll get to that mobile suit.
And then we'll have to track down the kit for you.
The Gunpla.
So looking at this, I noticed that this disc thing is there's a high grade kit for one of the build fighters series, and there's this team where there's 3 suits and they're all variants of the EZ8, and one of them uses this round body as like a big thing that sticks on the back of the head. It's like a big radar dome or something like that. So I actually recognize this now that I see it.
Okay.
Yeah, if you look up EZ-SR, it's the kit that I'm actually built like 3 or 4 of those. And it gives you all the parts you need to make like any configuration of that team. So you get like a crap load of extra parts.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, so it kind of serves as a kind of like a radar, a reconnaissance or eye in the sky kind of thing.
But there's one configuration where that actually goes directly behind the head, and the head interfaces with it, so you can configure it that way.
Yeah,
I think it's called the Shadow Phantom. Yeah,
picture of it.
Something like that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, if you build no other kit, the Easy SR is one to go get because you can have so much fun with it just in configurations alone. And it comes in gray. It like how you see it is how it's molded. So you have this nice ready-made base to paint whatever way you want. It's a great kit.
Oh, that's perfect.
I've been thinking about getting into Gunpla, but it's just that part. I don't know where to start.
Well, you could go real. Oh, I'm about to grab the green one for again.
Here you go. I can't see it.
Yeah.
A little model of the Haro. You can put it together in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, there's small, super cheap kits you can grab and put together.
Yep, there's a whole grading to it, which can just go up.
You can spend anywhere from a few dollars to a few $100s. It depends on what you want to and what you like in terms of suits.
Which we actually get some gameplay of this now.
If you kind of paid close attention, you can kind of sometimes you can see the Sazabi deploying its bits.
Oh, nice. That's good. I would hate if they didn't have the chance to do that.
Let's back up a little bit and see if we can catch that, because you see the Barbados doing the big jump up lunge.
Okay, that's probably what this spray of things is for. Yeah, okay.
I
mean, yeah, we should probably pause that there.
Aspect. Oh, look, there's the gym sniper. 2.
Oh,
Sniper
I love
2,
me a
yeah.
good sniper. And it's very much a Farah, like you see what they're going for with a lot of the very much the Overwatch sort of thing there, which given the amount of time they've had to develop this game, I can't see any other way that this was being designed except to try to follow Overwatch.
Which is fine. Like that's fine for free to play. That's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just it does seem to line up and be quite obvious that was.
It would be really cool if there was an open world kind of single, or kind of like you can team up with other people in an open world environment, but you can also go into for PvE, and then there's an area for PvP, kind of like
So like the WoW of Mobile Suit Gundam.
And you kind of sort of like Destiny or Division or WoW or something like that.
Yeah.
Able to customize your mobile suit too.
Oh. I imagine they will have no problem selling you different skins. So you get Char Zaku and a green Zaku's and a goof and styled Zaku.
I mean, we never had a Char goof.
No.
I'm pretty sure
Char don't goof up.
No, he had like everything else, but
I'm pretty sure there is a goof out there that's Char's.
Yeah, so I'm trying to remember what he gets in the series now that Fenrir's gone. He gets his Zaku, he gets his Zagok. I don't think it's in this one. He gets a Gelgoog.
Yeah, Gelgoog. And then the Zeong.
But that's like a one-off.
Zeong.
No, I was trying to think. I think there was at least one other one.
Yeah, the Zagok. He gets his actually I think that's the next one he gets is the Zagok.
Yeah. The Zaku 2 commander, the Zagok, for his infiltration to Jaburo, the Gelgoog, and then the Zeong. But in the novelization, he also pilots a Gundam. Spoilers.
Okay.
I really need to get around to reading that novel. It looks like the sniper, the GM here does a little stealth, but that might just be supposed to be it might just be the zoom trying to transition to that, so you're not blocking view of your own blocking view of the game with your own hand. Yeah, see all those perfect headshots? I'm not going to make any of those.
There's the DOMs.
3
The
of them.
Black
Oh, nice.
Tri-Stars.
Yeah.
Dom Trooper. So that's not the Dom. That's a variation of the Dom.
Yeah. But
Don't
it's
worry.
clearly meant to be an homage to the Black Tri-Stars.
Yeah. Don't worry, Agent Deathspell.
Though
Looks like there's a suit for you.
Though I do remember, I think since Fenrir's not here, since when they're doing their nice little trip to Side 6, there is those the Rick Doms that have their own special attack that they try to confuse Amuro with, and he gets them quite easily.
Hmm. The Dom is one of those kits that I always thought about whether I actually wanted to build, but I haven't gone and gotten one.
Ooh. Looks like from the gameplay here, it pulls either allies or enemies into its
Field of effect.
Yeah, like they all get dragged behind it as it dashes forward.
Too bad none of us can read Japanese.
It's like a little bit of a drafting.
Yeah, maybe. Either that or they were all just chasing him. It gets some kind of special ability with that for certain.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully we'll be finding out next year when it looks like this should hopefully make a worldwide release. Because that's what I was seeing. That's what I was hearing was reported from some of the websites with the translations. Because they talk about this game being released worldwide, or people enjoying it all around the world.
It looks like the Gundam team has got one control point. Look up next to the timer in the middle of the screen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and you're not split up by faction either. There's Gundams and Xeon units on both sides, so that's cool. So it's pretty free.
There's the Zabi.
Yeah, which gotta say for my this is obviously just like the CGI for the trailer, but it looks so crisp and clean. I'm getting a little hypnotized by that pretty metal.
It does look beautiful.
This is definitely just good.
One of my favorite of Char's suits.
Oh, it very much has that Farah rocket barrage.
Oh, there we go. Oh, and there his is.
You just throw an axe. Sweet.
Yes, he did.
And then jumps up to it. It looks like. Or
there's the fin funnels. Yep.
And
nice.
notice how the way he's holding it.
Oh, okay. So that green spray that we're seeing, that's within the Sazabi that we've been seeing in the other previous shots.
Oh,
yeah, it's a shotgun, but you can clearly see on the left there that his funnels are out, and they went and homed in on other. So that's cool.
So
that's
really cool. The yellow beams that we're all seeing, that's the shots from the funnels.
Yeah. So it looks like he's got a standalone skill just here for that jump up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing this other skill here is the axe throw, which I could actually back up and see if that in fact was the case.
The one where his nope,
he just activated. So that's a separate skill. He activates the second skill.
Yep, there's a jump. And looks like there's like the one toggle for the funnels.
Yep, that's probably an ultimate.
Maybe. All I know is it's cool. Like I'm very impressed by what I'm seeing.
Yep. Should probably pause that real quick. Hello, Nerdporial. Thank you for stopping by.
Hello.
Yeah, even though this isn't this isn't cut footage, this is actual gameplay footage, it still looks pretty sharp. Like if we could pause this at the right spot and get a close up, we could actually get a good view of what the I'm not assuming they were going to, but I'm sure the models don't look quite as good, but they look good enough from a distance.
Mm-hmm. And Barbados,
which it was a pretty good little touch to have that trail effect behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So to kind of touch up here, Nerdporio, this was a recently announced 6v6 Gundam free to play game. So it's basically Gundam Overwatch, as people are affectionately calling it.
To be brutally honest, I've tried to watch Iron Blooded, maybe a third of the way through season 2. I'm not liking it as much, sadly.
I thought season 1 was good. I wasn't a huge fan of season 2, but season 1 was good. I definitely like the designs.
I kind of lost track of watching through that one, so I'd have to probably go revisit it.
There were aspects of it that I very much liked. A lot of the mobile suit designs are unique and very attractive. The overall plot is pretty good. Some of the characters are in, but yeah, it's a pretty solid series. It's got a good following.
Yep. Yeah, it has some interesting reasons for why the suits were so rare, so powerful.
Yeah,
yeah. They had to stand up against those AI berserker machines.
Yeah, they repurpose what mobile armors are, which we haven't touched on in the series yet, into something else. Their lore and world building is actually really good for an alternate universe. And like we were touching on before, they explain why the Gundams are the way they are and what their purpose was.
Yeah, it sort of makes more sense than we're going to use these to have street fights to decide the Earth president.
Yeah, right.
The king. Thank goodness. And it stinks that we never got a stupid season 2. We'll be back next time. Not.
Oh, if only. I want to have the next. I want to see the next fight.
For G. I mean, I think they said. I think someone on Twitter said that if you want something like that, watch Build Fighters.
Basically,
that's basically the closest that we can get to something like that. Which it's funny. It's kind of funny. Gundam Seed is kind of a reboot of Mobile Suit Gundam. Gundam 00 is kind of a reboot of Gundam Wing. So Gundam Build Fighters is kind of a reboot of Gundam.
That's not wholly inaccurate.
With kids.
Yeah. Well,
kind of makes
children can't necessarily traumatize this time.
Gundam with Yu-Gi-Oh.
So I've got to dip out. I've got to set up for my own stream in an hour or so.
Oh, right. Yeah, we'll just kind of finish this up and. Oh. Yeah, this. I definitely like the look of this, but yeah, we should probably go ahead and start wrapping up. But yeah, it's been a fun one. Let's wrap this up. What do you guys think of this game so far from what we've seen?
I'll give it a shot. I'll definitely give it a shot.
Mm-hmm. I'll be streaming it. Oh, we have a.
So at 9:00 Eastern, I will be building the MSK 008 Dejay on my Gundam build stream. So I'll be going for a few hours because that's a pretty bulky kit.
Cool.
Yep. Yeah, Wakedown had to head out and saying it's getting late for him. So a little nap before this evening. And Agent Decibel is setting him off. Yeah, it looks like Jace is in agreement that this one looks like it'll be worth a try. Which at the price of free, doesn't exactly cost a whole lot to give it a shot.
It's just before every match you're going to have to watch a commercial. You have to make some money somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Before every episode, Bright has to come in and slap you.
And then you have to pay him $10.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
He always slaps the left cheek.
It's going to get sore and numb after a while.
All right, so we'll see you over there, Brightest Day.
I hope so.
And Chris, where can we find you?
You can find me on 540 Studios, which is actually Jace's YouTube channel. I go over there and I help with talk about geek stuff and whatnot, and talk about how Disney sucks.
Let me just get a link for that in the chat real quick.
Yeah, we should have had that pulled up. My bad.
Yeah, that was also my fault. I meant to put it. I'll have it in the description afterwards. As for me this week, I will actually be on Larina Creole's lunch lounge on Thursday,
Yes.
and then I'm going out of town.
Oh, where are you going to?
So, I'm headed up north for my birthday's coming up, and I figured I'd go see some family for a change.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Seemed like a fun idea.
And then in a couple of weeks, I'll be seeing you in Vegas. Yes.
Actually, no.
Oh.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, buddies.
Yeah, it's fortunate. I thought I was gonna be able to make it, but then I started looking at the price of rooms, and the booking started getting a little bit above what I was able to do. And then, things just kind of worked out. But now I'm gonna go to a convention. I'm gonna go bother Heather Antos.
Okay. Nice. All right. Anyway, I got to dip out, guys.
All right.
Have a good
See
one.
you around.
I will be. Yeah, I think we should probably start wrapping this up. Thank you so much for coming by, Chris. Did you have fun tonight?
My pleasure. It was fun. It's always nice. I don't have many people to talk about Gundam with, so it was really fun to talk about Gundam with people.
Oh yeah, especially kind of rewatching the show, going through it a little bit, and talking a little bit about the odds and ends here and there. It is a lot of fun.
I'm doing a chronological watch myself, so I'm on.
Oh,
I have made my way through Origin, MSG, 8th MS Team, War in the Pocket, Thunderbolt, 0083, and now I'm on working my way through Zeta. I think I'm 5 episodes in. I'm trying to remember. Camille's just both killed. The Lieutenant Quattro's Rick Diaz was destroyed, and they're just sent Lieutenant Rekawa to Earth.
okay. So yeah, it sounds like you've been really pushing through the series.
Yes, I've been trying to get to do a chronological watch for a long time. It's just like I get through part of it, and then all of a sudden something else comes up. So I'm just like, well, you know what? Gundam Hathaway's come out. This is a wonderful moment to work my way through. Let's do this.
Yeah, that's been the way I do it. You kind of go through and have some fun with that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Nerdporial says Zeta's a great series. It is. If you can get past Camille being kind of whiny at the start of it, which I know some people that aren't big on Camille.
He's also a little inconsistent too. His thought process, which I've seen one YouTuber that I've watched, he says that it's possible that Camille could possibly be a slight bit autistic.
I've heard people make that comparison, and I could see it. Of course, I think it was kind of. He was very much a fighter starting out.
Yes.
Chris, did you want? You are being asked about your channel, and I
don't really have one myself. I just kind of pop in over at 540 Studios, which is my friend Jace's YouTube channel, and just talk geek with him over there. So that's where you'll find me.
I'm updating the description right now.
So, in fact, actually, I do remember sending that link to you.
Right. I will pull this up, and then we'll be wrapping the show up. I'll fix it afterwards.
And then also Zeta Gundam's also very dark. It's probably one of the darkest that's ever in the entire show's history.
Yep. Let me copy this. I can't copy it in chat, but yeah, I will.
Here you go.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, please.
If that's the right one, yeah, it should be.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Victory Gundam is also very dark, which I do plan on making my way to that eventually.
That's saved, cleaned up. Jace, you're welcome on. You just got to start watching some Gundam.
I am pressuring him to do it. He was supposed to watch a marathon today, but yeah, he had to have a wonderful conversation. He had to spend some time with his father. Family stuff is important, far more important.
Hey, look at that. Thank you, Nerdporial. They sure appreciate it, and I'm glad to help out.
Yeah, Jace just got to his 100 subscribers, so we got some. Eventually, we're gonna set something up to have celebrate it, and I think he's doing a giveaway. But yeah.
Wow.
What the heck was that?
Oh, it's so much fun. Yeah, no, Nerdporial. If I could get something, if I really don't have, I do work with I am part of the Pop Culture Archivist, so it shouldn't be a problem getting on with them at some point, I imagine. So we just got to kind of work it out. And yeah, usually my Saturdays are pretty free, but yeah, this weekend would be a little iffy. I'm going to be out of town. I might, who knows? Maybe I might do a little surprise pop-up stream here or there. We'll find out later. But I think it's time to go head out. And with that, I want to thank everyone who showed up to have a listen and watch. It has been a lot of fun doing this, and I'm glad to be able to help introduce people to this show and get more people watching it. So do me a favor, do the whole like, comment, subscribe, etc. And I will
on that like button.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Smash that colony drop button. It looks like this. No, this one. No. This is the spare Australia button. Don't do that.
Jace, you'll understand that meaning later on. Trust me.
Till next time.